Did you know there could be 22 million undocumented immigrants living in the US right now? That's nearly double previous estimates. But where are they concentrated? Today, we're breaking down the 10 states with the highest number of undocumented immigrants and why it matters to you. Let's dive in. Ever wondered how many undocumented immigrants live in your state? Comment below with your guess. Let's start the list with number 10th state on our list, that is California, the epicenter. Over 1.75 million undocumented immigrants live here. That's more people than the entire city of San Diego. Wow, right? 1 out of every 10 workers in the state is undocumented. They're the ones picking your fruits, cleaning your hotels, even building your tech gadgets. But why here? Well, California is right next to the border, so it's like the first stop on a long, dangerous journey. Have you ever driven through the desert? Hot, dry, miles from anywhere, but people cross it anyway just for a chance. Plus, jobs. Tons of jobs. Farms, restaurants, construction sites, they all need workers. And undocumented immigrants often take the jobs others won't. Crazy, right? But here's the thing. These workers pay billions in taxes. Yeah, you heard that. They contribute to Social Security, even though they might never get benefits. It's like paying into a system that can't protect them. Now, some folks say, wait, isn't that a strain on resources? And sure, schools and hospitals get crowded. But here's the kicker. Without them, who's gonna fill all those jobs? You ever tried picking strawberries under the California sun? It's brutal. Most Americans won't do it. So these immigrants become the backbone of industries we all rely on. But life isn't easy. They live in fear of deportation. Imagine working hard every day, raising a family, but always looking over your shoulder. Heartbreaking. Maria, a farm worker I met once, told me she hasn't seen her kids in years because she can't risk crossing back. That's the human cost. And politically, California's a sanctuary state, which means they limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities. That's a big deal. Other states? Not so much. So next time you bite into a California almond or enjoy a tech gadget, remember, there's a story behind it. And it's not just about numbers, it's about people. Let's move on to Texas, where the border story gets even more intense. On number 9th, we have a state you might have already guessed off. Texas, a border state's burden. Ever driven through the Rio Grande Valley? Hot, dusty. But this is where the story gets real. Texas isn't just a border state, it's a crossroads. Over 1.6 million undocumented immigrants live here. That's more people than the entire city of San Antonio. Wow. Why Texas? Let's break it down. First off, the border. The Rio Grande's just a river, but for families like the Garcias, it's a wall of hope. I met Maria Garcia last year. She's a mom of 3. At 3 a.m., she waded through that river, kids clinging to her, just to reach Texas. Why? Jobs, she said. In Mexico, I made $5 a day. Here, I make $15, and my kids get school. Texas's oil fields, farms, and construction sites need workers desperately. Without them, who'd fix your roof? Harvest the cotton? Cook your BBQ? Here's the kicker. These workers pump billions into Texas's economy. Your morning taco? Your new house? Your oil? A lot of that's built by undocumented hands. It's like Texas runs on a fuel no one talks about. But here's the twist. Texas is obsessed with border security. Billions spent on walls, patrols, even floating barriers in the river. Some say it's about safety. Others, it's politics. Maria told me. We're not criminals. We're just trying. And the heartbreak? Family separation. Maria's cousin, Luis, got deported last year. Left his wife and baby in Texas. He was a good guy, she said, wiping tears. Worked at a restaurant, never caused trouble, but one traffic stop, gone. It's like Texas is a place of two truths, a land of opportunity and a land of fear. So next time you hear border crisis, remember the Garcias. They're not just numbers, they're people sweating, hoping, building a life. Texas, it's a state of contradictions. But wait, Arizona's got its own story. Let's head west. Keeping the tension same, let's move on the number 8th state on our list. Arizona, the overlooked hotspot. Ever tried walking through a desert in July? The sun's like a fiery hammer beating down, and the air's so dry it cracks your lips. But Arizona's 370-mile border with Mexico? That's where thousands gamble their lives every year. Over 250,000 undocumented immigrants call Arizona home, more people than live in Tucson. Crazy, right? Why risk it? Let's talk about survival. Meet Juan. He's a farm worker from Sonora. At 18, he crossed the desert with nothing but a jug of water and a prayer. "I saw bones on the trail," he told me, voice shaking. People who didn't make it. But I had to try for my family. Arizona's farms? They're massive. The state's $40 billion agriculture industry grows lettuce, cotton, even beef. But here's the twist. 50% of farm workers here are undocumented. Without them, your grocery store shelves would starve. Yet, they're treated like ghosts. Juan works 12-hour days in 110-degree heat, picking veggies that end up on your plate. But one wrong move, like a traffic stop, and he's gone. ICE raids are common here. It's like walking on a tightrope over a pit. And the desert? It's a silent killer. Last year, 120 migrants died crossing Arizona's border. That's like losing a small town in a year. Why? Because policies push people to take deadlier routes. "The wall just makes us climb higher mountains," Juan said. "It doesn't stop us. We have to." But here's the irony. Arizona needs these workers. Farms, construction, hotels, without them, the economy limps. Yet, the state spends millions on border security. It's like paying to block the very hands that feed you. Unbelievable, right? So next time you bite into an Arizona lettuce wrap or drive past a Phoenix suburb, think about Juan. He's out there sweating, risking, surviving. Arizona's a state of harsh beauty and harder truths. But wait, Nevada's got a different kind of heat. Let's check it out. Nevada, tourism's hidden workforce. From Arizona's deserts to Nevada's bright lights, let's talk about the hidden army that keeps Sin City running. Nevada's got 200,000 undocumented immigrants. That's more people than live in Reno. Wow. But where do they work? Hint. It's not just the casinos. Exactly. Meet Rosa. She's a housekeeper at a Las Vegas hotel. Every morning at 5 a.m., she's mopping floors, changing sheets, making sure your vacation is perfect. "I love my job," she told me, "but I'm always looking over my shoulder." Why? Because without workers like Rosa, Vegas shuts down. The $60 billion tourism industry, it runs on her hands. Hotels, restaurants, even the big conventions, undocumented workers are the glue. Think about it. When you check into a hotel, who cleans your room? When you eat at a buffet, who's cooking? When you attend a conference, who's setting up chairs? Rosa's done it all. "Last month, I cleaned 30 rooms a day," she said. "My feet were killing me. But I need the money." Here's the twist. They're paid minimum wage, if that. Rosa shares a tiny apartment with 3 others just to make rent. "I send money to my kids in Mexico," she said, "but I miss their birthdays. Every birthday. Heartbreaking." And the kicker, Nevada's economy needs them. Without Rosa and her friends, hotels can't clean rooms, restaurants can't cook meals, and the party, it stops. It's like the city's glittering lights are powered by people the world doesn't see. So next time you're in Vegas, tip your housekeeper. They're the real stars. Now let's talk about a state in more severe condition. Florida, the Sunshine State's surge. Ever bitten into a Florida orange? Sweet, juicy, perfect. But here's the secret. That orange was probably picked by someone living in the shadows. Florida's got 700,000 undocumented immigrants, more people than live in Tampa. Wow. Why? 2 words: oranges and tourism. Meet Luis. He's a citrus worker from Guatemala. Every morning, he's in the groves by 6 a.m., clipping oranges under the blazing sun day. It's 95 degrees out here, he told me, wiping sweat. But the pay is $12 an hour. Better than nothing. Florida grows 70% of America's oranges, and undocumented workers pick most of them. Your morning, OJ? That's on them. But here's the twist. They're vulnerable. When Hurricane Ian hit last year, Luis's trailer park flooded. We lost everything, he said. No insurance, no help. Just gone. Undocumented immigrants can't get FEMA aid, so they rebuild with borrowed cash. It's like Florida's sunshine hides a sweat-soaked reality. And tourism? Miami's hotels, Disney's parks, they all need workers. Housekeepers, cooks, janitors. I clean rooms for tourists who make more in a week than I do in a month, said Maria, a housekeeper in Orlando. But I smile anyway. They don't know my story. Here's the irony. Florida's economy relies on them. Oranges, tourism, construction, undocumented workers keep it all running. But when storms hit, they're on their own. When politicians talk tough on immigration, they're the targets. So next time you sip Florida orange juice or ride a roller coaster, think about Luis and Maria. They're out there sweating, risking, surviving. Florida's a state of contrasts. But wait, Illinois has its own hidden story. Let's head north. On number 7 we have Illinois, Chicago's gateway. Ever been to Chicago's South Side? Factories hum, trains rattle, and the air smells like steel and sweat. But here's the secret. A lot of that sweat is from undocumented workers. Illinois has 400,000 of them, more people than live in Springfield. Wow. Why? Jobs, jobs, jobs. Meet Miguel. He's a machine operator at a Chicago factory. Every day, he's in at 6 a.m. running presses that make parts for your car. I make $18 an hour, he told me, but no driver's license. Can't get one. So I take the bus 2 hours each way. Illinois is one of the few states where undocumented immigrants can't get licenses. I've been stopped twice, Miguel said. Prayed I didn't get deported. My kids were in the car. But here's the twist. Illinois needs workers like Miguel. The state's manufacturing sector? It's $100 billion strong. And logistics, Chicago's the nation's rail hub. Undocumented workers keep the trains moving, the factories running. Without us, the factory shuts down, Miguel said. Boss told me that. Straight up. And the irony? Chicago's a welcoming city, so ICE can't raid homes without a warrant. But no license means no way to drive to work, pick up kids, or go to the doctor. We're stuck, Miguel said. Work hard, but invisible. So next time you drive past a Chicago factory or see a train roll by, think about Miguel. He's out there clocking in, sweating, surviving. Illinois is a state of industry and invisible hands. But wait, Georgia's got a different kind of hustle. Let's head south. Moving on to number 8 state on the list. Georgia, the new border battleground. Ever driven through Georgia's rolling hills? Rows of broccoli, peaches, and pine trees stretch for miles. But here's the secret. A lot of that harvest is picked by hands the law calls illegal. Georgia's got over 300,000 undocumented immigrants, more than the entire city of Savannah. Crazy, right? Why? Because Georgia's the broccoli capital of the US, and someone's gotta pick all that produce. Meet Elena. She's a farm worker from Mexico. Every dawn, she's in the fields, bending over rows of broccoli under the Georgia sun day. We work from sunrise to sunset, she told me, hands calloused. No breaks, just work. But if we stop, your grocery store shelves go empty. Georgia's $69 billion agricultural industry? It runs on people like Elena. Your fresh veggies, your Sunday dinner, her sweat built that. But here's the twist. Georgia's one of the strictest states on immigration. Show me your papers laws mean even a broken taillight can lead to deportation. Elena's cousin was pulled over last year. He had a clean record, she said, voice trembling. But they took him, just like that. It's like Georgia wants their labor but not their lives. And the heartbreak? Elena's kids are in school here. They're American, she said. But I'm not. Every knock on the door, I panic. She sends money home but can't visit her own parents. 7 years since I hugged my mom, she whispered. Unbelievable, feeding a nation but starving for family. So next time you bite into a Georgia peach or buy broccoli, think about Elena. She's out there sweating, fearing, surviving. Georgia's a state of bounty and broken dreams. Let's head up north to a state where the story's totally different. Moving on to the 9th state island, New Jersey, the Northeast's surprise. Ever wonder who's teaching your kids or caring for your grandparents? In New Jersey, there's a hidden army doing just that. Over 450,000 undocumented immigrants live here, more than the population of Newark. Wow. But they're not just numbers. They're neighbors. Meet Sophia. She's a preschool teacher in Newark. I've taught here for 10 years, she told me. But I still panic when I see a cop. Why? Because Sophia's undocumented. Yet, she's the reason 20 kids learn their ABCs every day. Parents beg me to stay, she said. They know I care. New Jersey schools, hospitals, and tech firms? They're filled with people like Sophia. Over 25% of undocumented workers here are in education or healthcare. Unbelievable, the people shaping minds and saving lives are living in fear. Here's the twist. New Jersey's expensive. A one-bedroom apartment? $2,000. Sophia shares a house with 4 others just to afford rent. I send money to my parents in Mexico, she said. They're sick. I haven't seen them in 8 years. It's like she's pouring her life into a state that can't fully welcome her. And the irony? New Jersey's a sanctuary state, so local cops won't help ICE. But federal raids still happen. Last month, my coworker was taken, Sophia whispered. She has 2 kids here, citizens. But she's gone. So next time you're in an NJ classroom or hospital, look around. The person beside you might be building your community while their own future's uncertain. New Jersey's a state of quiet strength. But our final state? It's a shocking twist. Let's head to North Carolina. Wrapping up the list on number 10, the last but not the least state is North Carolina, the fastest growing hotspot. Ever heard of a hidden boom? That's North Carolina right now. Over 300,000 undocumented immigrants call this state home, more than the entire city of Raleigh. Wow. Why? Jobs, jobs, jobs. The state's construction, farming, and tech sectors are exploding, and guess who's building it? Meet Carlos. He's a construction worker from Honduras. Every morning, he's on a site in Charlotte, hammering nails for new subdivisions. I make $16 an hour, he told me. But I've got 3 kids to feed. No choice. North Carolina's construction industry? It's booming. The state added 50,000 new housing units last year, and undocumented workers like Carlos built 30% of them. Your new neighbor's house? His hands built it. But here's the twist. North Carolina's changing. 10 years ago, the state was purple. Now it's trending red. New laws restrict sanctuary policies, making life harder for families like Carlos's. I used to feel safe, he said. Now, I jump at every siren. And the irony? These workers are why the state's growing. They fill farms, restaurants, and tech warehouses. Without us, your chicken costs $10 a pound, said Rosa, a poultry worker. But they act like we're invisible. So next time you drive past a now hiring sign in NC, remember Carlos and Rosa. They're out here building, sweating, hoping. North Carolina's a state of contrasts. Growth and fear. Opportunity and uncertainty. So there you have it, 10 states, 10 stories, 14 million lives hanging in the balance. These aren't just illegals. They're parents, workers, dreamers. People like Maria, who cross deserts for her kids. People like Juan, who risks his life daily to feed America. People like Rosa, who clean our hotels but can't afford to rent one. The numbers are huge, but the human cost? Even bigger. Some say they're a burden. Others? They're the backbone of our economy. But here's what we know. Without them, our grocery stores would be empty, our hotels would close, and our farms would wither. So what do you think? Should we build walls or build bridges? Punish or protect? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if this story moved you, hit subscribe. This channel's all about giving a voice to the voiceless. Remember, behind every statistic is a heartbeat, and every heartbeat deserves to be heard. Stay curious, stay kind, and we'll see you next time.